Okay.
So we're going to start the consent agenda for today, January 22nd, 2026. Bill Wolf and Stacy Isaac here to do that. We're going to look at item C1, 306 Meadowbrook Drive. Do we have anybody out there that is here to represent that project? We have a few questions. We're here for final on consent.
Uh, Nobody online yet.
Online, okay. Then we can't really do a whole lot, I guess. Few questions is all. You looked it over though and felt comfortable with everything that you
I
said.
mean, I think more or less that they've satisfied most of our requests in
Mhm.
terms of greater detailing and blowing up the detailing. And
Mhm, mhm.
I did see details, gate and column details, pedestrian gate details where the trash enclosure is.
Yep.
Yes, I would like more information on them potentially, but I don't think I'm going to hold up an approval
Yeah.
on that. Question about the exterior light on
Can we go to that?
the building.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's night sky compliant.
It did look like it. I saw it too.
Might be,
It
yeah.
looked like a solid plexiglass cylinder, and the light source looked like it was up inside the housing to
Okay,
me.
yeah, that's what I
So
thought too. I
think-
mean,
I think it was okay.
I think
And I could probably okay on my end as well. The questions I have are more questions for them, but I don't think it's going to change the aesthetic.
Was that in the architectural plans or the?
A600, sheet A600, wherever that is.
Bear with me, sorry.
Yeah, a lot there.
I mean, everything in the landscape though looked good and very
Yeah.
complete. So,
Yeah, and I'm
and
with
nice job.
with the
Too far.
architecture.
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, so if you zoom in there, Dave, to the right or left, sorry, left side.
Yes.
Light fixture there. I believe it's a cylinder plexiglass because I don't see a bulb.
Me neither.
So I think we're good.
And it has a shield above, so
Yeah. Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think that's fine.
I mean, I think
Yeah.
we could approve this
I think so too.
project.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So we'll come back at the full board meeting at 1 and we'll give our approval for that, final approval. I guess we don't have to ask for public comment because we've already,
So just we have no one online
Right.
to give public comment, just to be clear. And then so just so we have a verbal paper trail, item C2 will be on the next agenda.
yes, okay.
Yes.
Great. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. And we'll close consent and wait till 1 o'clock to re-adjourn or re-meet here.
to the January 22nd, 2026 meeting of the Montecito Board of Architecture Review. We have quorum, so let's go on to item number 1 on the agenda, public comment. Do we have anyone?
Uh, no speaker slips and there's no one online currently.
Thank you. So move on to agenda status report.
The only thing I have to report is we're not going to have a quorum for item C2. So staff recommends just continuing that item to your February 5th meeting.
Thank you, Dave. All right, so we are going to review the meeting minutes. The first one will be on December 18, 2025. I think, do we have a quorum to approve the meeting minutes?
Well, I mentioned to David Tip that I was not in that meeting. I was absent. So although Dave informed us that, I could still vote on it
So
necessary.
this is what we were talking about this a little bit beforehand, and
Mhm.
what I said, when we were discussing, about like abstention versus recusal. So technically speaking, as long as we have 4 members here and 1
Abstain.
abstains, we can still vote on them. I know that John always preferred that we have all the people, like a quorum of the people who were there present. Technically, I think it's fine either way,
Okay.
whatever you want to do.
Right, so let's go through it. Any of you has any comments? One item, 2. Yeah, I reviewed earlier today. I don't have any comments. Stacy?
No comments. I'm sorry, no comments.
All right, so we have a motion for approval of the meeting of the December 18th.
So with the preference that the motion and the second not come from the person who is abstaining.
Motion and second.
I'm not saying.
I make a motion.
I can second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Abstain. Bill Wolf abstains.
Move on to the January 8th, 2026. And we only had 2 items. Okay, and I don't have any comments. Any of you?
I have to abstain from this vote as well.
I don't have any comments. It looks fine to me.
No comment. Okay,
Oh,
so
so I'm sorry for the last one. Then if you abstain because you were not here.
Yeah, I was on the agenda.
Okay, so that might be actually a correction to the minutes then, I think, on the attendance.
yeah,
Okay, I'll make that correction.
all right. So I'd like to make a motion for approval.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. So we are done with that.
Yeah.
Now we are moving on to AMBAR members' informational briefings. Any of you?
I will not be able to attend next February 5th meeting. I'll be taking someone to the doctor.
Okay,
I will be here.
I will be here.
Um,
All right. So hopefully we have quorum.
Rob should be here.
Okay. So anything?
Yeah,
Stacy?
I mean, I can make an announcement. Yeah, we met with the Biltmore Four Seasons
Mhm.
for the improvements on the north side of the property, and Rob and I, right before the last meeting, met with them on site, and they submitted a preliminary plan to both Rob and myself via email, and I looked at it today, and I generally supported the direction that they're going with it.
But they will come back, right, to the full board.
They will come back to the full board, correct? Yes.
Thank you. Staff update.
I do have one update to make. Speaking with clerk of the board staff, their agenda for the Board of Supervisors for next week's hearing was just published today. Our newest member is on that agenda for approval, his nomination, Tom Bolle. Remember, he showed up to our last hearing in December, that last meeting that John was here. So I'll check in with Mr. Bolle to make sure that he's available for the 5th.
So that's next Tuesday?
Yeah, that's on next Tuesday's board agenda.
All right, thank you. Okay, so now we're moving on to the consent agenda, and we are going to table item C1. No,
No.
I mean C2.
Yeah.
So C1,
And
Yep.
our applicant is online now.
okay, and this item is back here for final, only final, right? We give them preliminary approval.
Yeah, we reviewed item C1 306 Meadowbrook Drive, Stacy and I, and felt that it was compliant with all the requirements for final approval. And so we'd make the findings that we'd grant it final approval as submitted.
Yeah.
Stacy, do you concur with that?
I concur.
So you want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to grant 306 Meadowbrook Drive final approval.
I make the same recommendation for approval.
Okay, all in favor?
We'll take that as a second.
Seconded.
Second.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Now we'll continue item C2 until next meeting. All right, so now we are on to the standard agenda and item number 1227 Hot Springs Road. Is the applicant here?
I believe our applicant is online.
Yes, sir.
Okay, your name for the record, please.
Mo Samaha, and I'm joined by Amr Samaha and Antonio Covarrubias, as well as Zach Laurie, who is our landscape architect.
All right, so we had a couple comments from the previous meeting. Number one, consider the layout of the structure to reduce the spread out feel of the project. One member appreciates the new driveway layout. Update the plans to better match the renderings. And number four, update the landscape plan to show water usage and consider using a different oak tree species. And this item is going to be here, will be here today for preliminary and final approval. So we'd like to address the board with your comments.
Fantastic, thank you. Good afternoon, board members. Thank you for your time today. Before I begin, can everybody hear me clearly?
Yes.
Fantastic. So we're here today seeking preliminary final approval for a 900 square foot addition to the main home and a 540 square foot addition to an ADU. The current proposal is at 96% of the recommended maximum house net floor area. And as part of this project, we'll be doing exterior modifications to the home, as well as adding a pool and improving the overall landscaping. As mentioned earlier, there were a few key items that the board wanted us to address. Primarily, one of them was ensuring that there's enough driveway turning radius. Second was improving the oak selection to pick an oak tree that's more native and suitable to the Montecito climate. Three, we were asked to improve our landscape documentation, including our well oak calculations and our planting schedules for clarity. And then lastly, we were required to show some compliance with drainage and stormwater criteria. There was also a couple of comments regarding making sure that we have conditional approval from the Montecito Fire Department, as well as providing can and will serve letters from the Montecito Water Department and Sanitary Department as well. And we have provided those here today. Kind of jumping into this at a high level, our current proposal for the main structure is approximately 4,500 square feet. That represents a total lot coverage area of approximately 15%, and our proposed landscaping area is just slightly over 57%. If we can jump to sheet 3, please, showing the existing site topography. I think if you go one sheet up, that'd be great. Fantastic. So this sheet shows our existing site topography. As part of the scope of work, one thing I wanted to note is we will be removing 2 existing oak trees, one of which has a diameter of about 8 inches, and the other has a diameter of about 16 inches. And we'll be replacing it with one central island oak tree that has been specified by Zach, our landscape architect, and to compensate for those 2 oak trees. our landscape architects felt that this species of oak was more appropriate for the coastal area of Montecito, better suited to the climate, and also more appropriate in terms of long-term growth, particularly the impact of the roots to the adjacent landscape. If we can jump to the next sheet, please. And one more. This sheet here shows our proposed floor plan. One item that I'd like to draw your attention to is the driveway turning radius. We did some slight refinements to this area, and we have an approximately 20-foot wide driveway, and that is referring to the annulus around the central island there, which provides ample space for maneuvering around the central island. And the intent there is a comfortable, functional arrival sequence that works well in the real world. So that's just, I wanted to highlight that as one of the comments that has been addressed as requested by the board. If we can jump to the next sheet, please. This sheet here shows our proposed roof plan. And essentially what we're trying to portray is we intend to utilize a standing seam metal roof. The material specifications are included in this plan set and can be found on sheet 15 SD 1.14. But we can jump to that a little later in the presentation. But we just wanted to provide a little additional context as to the materiality that we'll be utilizing in this project, and that will also be shown in our material palette that will come a little later on. If we can jump to the next sheet, please. On this sheet here is our proposed exterior lighting plan. And something that we're cognizant of is to select low lumen downward facing fixtures. I believe if we scroll slightly to the bottom of this sheet, yeah, you can see some of the fixtures that we selected there. So on the left, you'll see we selected a wall sconce from David Martin, which is a dark sky compliant lighting fixture. And overall, we wanted to remain consistent with the home's material and color palette. That's why most of these fixtures are in a bronze tone, so that they visually blend in with architecture and landscape rather than stand out. We've also tried to keep the lumens to minimum. The wall sconces are sparse and intentional, and they're located strategically against the stone walls and the wood siding of the property. For the cattails, we've scattered them predominantly around the driveway, and that can be seen if we zoom out just a little bit. You can see where their locations are around the central island there. And the same is true for the court and outdoor lights. Is we're looking to the intention is to provide low-level ground illumination for safety and wayfinding, but we are flexible on the usage and the quantity of the lights as needed per the board's recommendation. And then lastly, the recessed lights are limited to the secondary wing at the primary of the at the rear of the property, and they're primarily serving the deck and pool area. And if we jump into the next sheet, we'll have our civil and site grading drainage plan. The intention of this sheet is to show that we're essentially collecting all the runoff from the property, and we're locating in a rain pit that could be seen at the bottom right of the property there, and essentially to show that we're in compliance with the California recommendations and requirements. The next couple of sheets, just essentially more of the same, sorry. These sheets might be slightly out of order, but there was a couple of sheets that we submitted that showed the compliance with Tier 1 stormwater control plan that was prepared by our civil engineer. It might be the following sheet. If it's not on here, then we'll make sure to get it uploaded. But we had included it in our plan set, but that's okay regardless. We'll jump back to, sorry, sheet 11 in the sheet. One more up. Yeah, so this sheet just basically shows that our lot coverage calculations were only really utilizing approximately 15% of the total lot area. And this is a quick RFA analysis, but the sheet before it confirms the same thing. But just wanted to put that out there for context. The following sheet shows our proposed hardscape and softscape. Oh, sorry, I think these might be they might be a little out of order. Yeah, this is the one I'm referring to. This shows our hardscape and softscape areas. And you can see there that our softscape makes up approximately 57% of the total lot area. In addition, some of the hardscape is actually a pervious material that's made out of cobblestone, and I'm specifically referring to the driveway. We're utilizing a cobblestone that's going to be sandset to allow for more permeability, essentially for the site. And then if we can jump to the next couple of sheets, if we can go 3 down, I believe, or there, we can stay here. This is our exterior material palette. And essentially what we wanted to show is how the palette is congruous with the general Montecito aesthetic. The intent here is to blend within the local character and utilize as many natural materials as we can on site. We would like to think the board shows a restrained, high quality palette that harmonizes with the surrounding environment and landscape. Primary elements include this exterior flagstone that we're using for our exterior walls, as well as a limestone flooring that we're utilizing in the patio and backyard areas that we selected for durability and performance in the local climate. Additionally, in the top right, you can see that we're utilizing a wood siding that is a charred shisugi band finish, which is a traditional Japanese technique that chars the exterior of the wood that helps improve the durability and the resistance to pest and fire exposure over time. It also creates a texture that ages very well over time. Additionally, we're utilizing a cobblestone driveway that's interspersed with gravel to create somewhat of an Andalusian style entrance and soften the hardscape expression. Beside that, you can see some of the exterior wall lightings that we had mentioned earlier. And then we're also utilizing to use rain chains as opposed to downspouts to minimize the visual presence of the downspouts. In the bottom left, you can see that we're proposing a custom stained teak entry door. And if you can zoom in on that, that is a completed project that we've utilized in the past and kind of gives a better general idea of our design intention. If you can zoom onto the bottom left, there's a stained teak wood door. There it is, yeah. It's the entry door on the left there. Yeah, so that image just kind of shows a previous precedent to convey our design intent, and it'll also be reflected in our renderings later on. But overall, the collection of these materials were chosen to ensure quality materials that are being utilized and ensure that they have longevity in the Montecito climate. If we can zoom out just for a second. And this kind of gives an overall idea and understanding of the collection of exterior materials that we're going to be using on this project, and they'll be shown in the rendering a little later on. If we can jump to the next sheet, please. So here we have just a cutout, a sheet that shows material specs and cutouts to provide more context on the windows that we'll be utilizing, the roof specs, the wood siding, as well as the lighting specs that are shown on the bottom left there
Excuse me.
for reference. Yes.
Yeah. Can you move on to the elevations, the elevations
Yes, I think that should be the next sheet.
and the details?
Sure thing. So this is the main interior proposed entry elevation. And this is the primary entrance to the home. And we've included the material list below to better showcase where we're going to be utilizing them. We also have the next sheet is going to be the technical elevation, not just a rendering of it, to show that, coordination between the renderings and the technical drawings as well. If we move on to the next, we'll also have an additional elevation. This is an elevation looking back at the home while standing in front of the ADU. This particular view won't be visible from the street. And the same is true for the next sheet on. There'll be an additional elevation. And this is another elevation looking towards the primary wing of the home. Wouldn't be visible from the street. If we can jump to the next one as well. Just more technical documentation. If we can jump to the following one. And I believe this shows the rear of the property and just some of our material selection there as well. We can jump to the next sheet as well. This is just a, kind of a side view of the property to contextualize the layout and the material selections overall. We can also jump to the renders on sheet 32, I believe. Oh, can we jump a couple of sheets up? So there we go. So this is our updated renderings. So we did some slight refinements here to better show the different dimensions of the driveway. One thing to note is that our landscape architect, Zach, has selected a central oak tree that we will update in a following rendering on this sheet. That's not reflected here. So I just wanted to call that out. And the next sheet will show, yeah, so this is basically the same rendering at the blue hour, showing where we intend to utilize our lighting fixtures across the property. And then we have an additional couple of renderings to follow. This one in particular here, just wanted to highlight where we're going to be utilizing some of these ring chains. You can see one there just slightly to the left of the main exterior door, and then one in the corner of the intersection of the main home and the garage space there. But just wanted to highlight that. And then we should have a pool rendering to follow as well.
Can you move on to perhaps exterior details?
Sure. If we can just jump to the next couple of sheets.
Yep, yeah, because yeah, thank you.
And I apologize. It looks like there's a little bit of a lag here.
David, I also want to know, I think this might be an outdated plan set. I'm not sure. Oh, so we do have the landscape plans. Fantastic. So this is just another sheet to kind of show uh, our planting and landscape language that's intended to soften the building and enhance the site with, native species that are appropriate to the area. Uh, I'll kind of pass it on to Zach here in a second to speak a little bit more about the detailed plant selection. But in general, we selected plants that are drought-tolerant natives, such as lavender and olive trees, that are, proposed to complement the design while providing some screening. And in the hardscape areas, we're utilizing natural stone. Zach, is there anything that you wanted to speak to here?
No, I think you nailed it correctly. Yeah, we want to just integrate some natural materials with the silvery, sort of like wispy material that are California native plants that are either low or very low on the WELO calculations so that we're using water efficiently. Definitely trying to keep the softscape as non-formal as possible to sort of be a soft edge to the drive and also the house. So we can go to the next slide and go through some of the plantings as needed. You hear some just various textures here. Definitely going for the sort of wispy and silver and not trying to go with anything that's super glamorous. Some of the blooms that are seasonal are more of like the mild yellows. Definitely wanting to keep the palette a little bit more subdued to sort of celebrate the materiality. We can go to the next slide. Here you'll see some of the specific plants that we'll be using. Through some sage, cuddy brush, sagebrush, all these are California natives and endemic to the coastal area where this property is. Salt brush as well. Mostly our planting palette will be low around the drive and then some screening with sort of native lemonade berry where needed, and then basically trying to accentuate the oaks as much as possible that are on site. We can go to the next slide. Here's the zone showing different areas where things take place. And when needed, the water efficiency calculation. I think there is a more updated version that shows the water efficiency, but we have it as a supplement on our plan sets as well that we can share out, which shows the various zones of the low and very low water usage areas. We can go to the next slide. Here's the planting plan, and again, you'll see zoomed in sort of like photos of all the plants, not all of them, but sort of the highlighted areas. And you can see that it's generally trying to like scatter them around where the softscape areas are, trying to frame the permeability of the cobble entryway and also the courtyard in the back. And then as you get towards the rear of the property, going more of sort of like a sporadic plant layout, sort of to mimic the California native landscape. Next slide. And here you'll see water use statements, and as needed and upon approval, we can move forward with our irrigation plan as well. And then we also have the WELO calculations probably further along in the set. Next.
And I believe that might be the last sheet, and that'll essentially conclude our presentation. One thing I wanted to know is I do believe this might be an outdated set. We had submitted a slightly more detailed one that has a couple more sheets, but I think this kind of captures the general idea of what we're presenting today.
Yeah, thank you. So you are here for preliminary and final, and so I guess the question I would have, Do you have any exterior details?
What kind of exterior details were you looking for? We have
Yeah, like roof, windows, doors.
yeah, so we have that in here in sheets.
Planting, irrigation.
Yeah, sorry, let me give you one quick second. So for the exterior windows that we're utilizing, it's on sheet, I believe, sorry, give me one second. I believe it might be sheet 26, SD 1.25.
Okay, yeah. You can go back one sheet. All right, so you have some roof details here. That's good. And doors and windows.
Yeah, our window schedule is on SD 125, and it also shows our exterior door as well.
Any exterior details for that?
For the window or for the door specifically?
Both.
So for the windows, we're utilizing we're utilizing the Fleetwood Edge collection that's thermally compliant with our Title 24. It's going to be selected in the bronze color to kind of match the general aesthetic. We do have on this same sheet, there's an updated version of it that has the exterior door details. It's going to be a custom teak stained wood door. But happy to provide additional information as requested.
So do you have it or you don't have it?
I do it just not on this particular sheet. I believe we uploaded a different PDF to
So
the portal.
okay, so that's all the details you have.
For the Windows specifically, yes.
I mean for the building.
No, there's more details in the latest version of what we uploaded. This is an outdated version that we are presenting. I think there is an error in which version we're currently presenting to the MBAR.
Did you let your planner know that you uploaded those updated set of plans? Or did you just upload them?
I do believe we had sent it in an email and it was uploaded as well. But in any case, I do believe we have additional details on SD 126 and 127, if that's on here. Yeah, this doesn't include all of our window schedule and our door schedule as well. So there are a couple of sheets that are missing on here, unfortunately.
And
I'm
landscape
happy.
details.
Yeah, and I didn't see any planting details or any irrigation details or a hydrozone plan. Do you have that?
Yeah, the hydrozone plan is on sheet, sorry, give me one second. It was sheet 39 of the presentation. We looked at it briefly. We have it color coded in the latest set. I'd be happy to kind of email that over.
Yeah, I think that's important to include that because it's not on
Yeah,
this one. Yeah.
That's not a plan. Yeah,
No,
you had
sorry,
some
if you can go,
calculations, but there's no plan with it.
if you can go one further up. So this kind of shows
Yeah.
the different zones and where we're utilizing the planting, the different plants and their quantities.
Yeah.
We do have a similar one that kind of shows the different zones color coded. If there's something else that you'd like, I'd be happy to provide.
Okay, so you are done with your presentation?
That is correct. But I'm also happy to kind of email over
That's
our
fine.
latest set.
Let's go back to a question from the board members. Start with you, Stacy.
Okay, I think we were kind of asking you questions as you went along, so I don't have a lot of them right now. I think I have more comments.
Okay,
I'll hold to the end.
Bill?
Yeah, I went through looking for details and if you do in fact have them, we're not seeing them yet. So, I think I could certainly give you a list of the ones that I would be looking for questions about, flat roof. You have a little bit of a flat roof at your foyer. I didn't see that detail. You have probably handrails through the garden. You probably need detail for that. I see a roof eave, but no rake detail. And you have a gate there, right? Is that a rolling gate? Is that a new rolling gate there? Is there any detail for that? Or any landscape site gates or any of that kind of work?
No, not at this time.
No details. And then details of the carport trellis structure there. I didn't see any details for any of that. So that was mostly my question. I do have one other question about your energy roof system there. You have a 3-inch rigid. Are you going to be able to achieve an R30 or meet your compliance with a 3-inch rigid insulation? Maybe I'm not seeing the whole roof, but the reason I ask that is because if it can't be met in 3 inches, that thickness may end up changing the profile of that roof. So just a heads up.
The insulation is on top of the tongue and groove, and it'll be 6 inches R30.
Oh, the detail shows 3-inch. So anyway,
Right.
take a look at that. Heads up anyway. That's all I had for questions.
Thank you, Bill. Robert?
No questions.
Okay, and I have no questions. And would you open public comment for item number 1? Do we have anyone?
We have no hands online, and I see no one rising in the hearing room.
Okay, so to close public comment, back to the board. So this item is here for preliminary final approval, and Stacy?
Yeah. So I think what we're looking for are a set of construction documents that if you got sick or something and had to leave the site, that somebody could actually construct the project with the documents without you present. And so comments that I have to do with that, well, the planting plan, it was very hard to read. At the very minimum, I'd like to see the existing trees to remain and the proposed trees called out on the plan, maybe with call outs. So because it was very hard to read your legend, but be very explicit about which plant where. Also, 2 planting details need to accompany that as well. And then 2, a full irrigation plan, as well as a hydrozone plan that then gives us the calculations for water usage with the state. I noticed you had the calculations, but they didn't relate to any plan. I'd also like to suggest that you use the California worksheet is a lot easier to read than kind of the one that you guys provided. And also to going to the hardscape and softscape. So I think you had a detail early on a plan that gave us almost like a 50-50 of landscape versus house roofs and hardscapes. But I think you have more planting and more landscape than that plan dictates. David, can you go to that plan? Go back in time. It's one of the first sheets, like about the 4th or 5th sheet. Keep going back all the way to the top of the set. Like, yep, that one. Go right there. Yeah, because you have that whole interior as being hardscape or roof. And I know around the pool, you're showing a lot of plantings, and I think you have a lot more permeability in there. And I think it works to your side to show that and describe it correctly. And also, if you're using permeable paving, it has to meet the county standards for permeable paving. Just putting cobbles on compacted road base here usually doesn't qualify. And that'll come up in your plan check as well. And then 2, on the lighting, I think you have a path light. It's a very cool path light, by the way, but it does not meet dark sky compliancy. It's the reed and cattail that you showed on one of the first sheets. So sorry, those are my long list of comments.
Thank you. Bill?
Yeah, I appreciate the design of the architecture. I think it's a nice looking building. I don't have any problem with the design and the concepts and all that you're going. I could give it certainly preliminary approval at this stage. But you need to have those details to give it final in my mind. So I appreciate what you've done. Just need further development of the plans, and maybe you have that. We just haven't seen it. So thanks.
Robert?
Yeah, agreed. And it's unfortunate you didn't get the right set of plans. But you know, we need all those details for approval, and you're gonna need them to bid this and build this. So, I would say, preliminary approval and come back for final on consent.
Okay, are you all agree to that?
I could support that. Yes.
Yeah. And you want to make a motion for preliminary approval with the,
I motion for preliminary approval and for the project to come back for final approval on consent.
with the applicant to come back with complete set of details, both
Yeah,
architecture.
Bill's kind of list that he verbally, the roofing, the doors and windows, the railings,
Mhm.
the gates, anything that's necessary to build this needs to be on the plans.
Same as from Stacy.
Same for me as well, too. Yes, correct.
All right, we have someone second it?
I'll second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we are on to item number 2802 Oak Grove Drive. Okay, your name for the record, please.
Afternoon. This is Wade Mosley over MW Architecture.
All right, so this item is here for preliminary and final approval. And I'm to read out the comments at the last meeting on July 10, 2025. Number one, reach 30 steps in front entry. Locate walkway further from the dwelling. Number two, reach 30 fascia board. Number three, 30 head height at gable. Number four, reach 30 roof pitch on carport and reduce or lower slope. Number five, consider relocating the carport further back from setback. Number six, review the project with the Montecito Fire Protection District. And number seven, add carport square footage to FAR worksheet. Okay, if you can address those comments and show us the drawing, the details and everything else.
Sure. As stated, we were here previously on July 10 for a conceptual design review, and we got great feedback from the design board, and the project was approved to have both preliminary and final review combined. The feedback we received significantly enhanced the design of the project and the experience. As far as the scope of work, it's the same as before. The only change is the addition of 120 square footage of a storage space to the detached, newly constructed proposed carport. Using the same material, same roof, it just got a little bit widened more. As far as the sheets, we added construction plans, including architectural details, civil plans, as well as structural plans. As far as the comments we have received, we can go through the plans maybe and when we can review them together. The second sheet is the same, just general information. The third sheet includes the revised MBAR calcs, which we received a comment to add the carport square footage to the FAR, which is 630 square feet. And that includes the newly proposed 120 square foot storage that got added to the detached carport. Moving forward to the next sheet, we have the inspirational images, and those are the same as presented before, so we can move on. This is photos of the existing building. which it addresses one of the comments we received, which is to match the size of the fascia board of the existing building. So we carefully addressed that in the proposed design. So now the addition matches the existing building. Moving forward, next sheet, we added the light fixture, which is dark sky compliant, and it shows the specifications or even the light fixtures. And by the way, we proposed the same set got submitted for land use permit, and it's being reviewed. Next sheet is the survey. The next sheet shows the existing site plan. No changes here as far as the graphics and information. The sheet after shows the proposed walkway leading to the house. If you can see the next sheet, please. AS102. One of the comments was about the walkway that was proposed, which previously was running along the existing building. And we agree with the design board, it was not the best experience. So now we're proposing a meandering walkway that goes and provides a really nice experience to access the house, which the existing front door is more, especially with the existing door, more located toward the backside of the house. And we shown here the compliance with the fire department requirements. That's one of the comments actually we also received, especially that this is a private road. It has a dead end. So we're showing compliance with that. And we actually got approval from the fire department captain for this exact plan. The other change we did is that we shifted the proposed detached carport further away from the setback to ensure that even the foundation is outside of the front setback. So that was a great comment we received. We also considered adding a guest parking spot, which we're showing on the site plan, and it is away from the there's sufficient room for the fire truck maneuver as needed. That's as far as the site plan changes. We can move forward to the next sheet, please. This is the civil plan set, and we can go through them maybe quickly. It shows the tier of the site plan features. And then here at the hammerhead, more to the east side of the property, there's some very little grading proposed, and that is to provide 5% maximum slope for the fire truck turnaround. Moving forward to the next sheets, also civil plans showing the proposed stormwater management and grading. Next sheet, please. Same thing, just information, and I believe we're within tier 1 for this project. More construction details for the site and stormwater management and construction, general construction details. Moving forward, more details also for the civil plans. Next sheet, please. The architectural plans are pretty much the same. We just added more constructability details and dimensions to show that the project is ready to be built. Moving forward, same thing for the roof plan. No changes since the positive feedback we got from the design board. Next sheet, please. Here the carport plans, which showing the newly proposed storage. It's right on the plan left side of the carport. It's a total of 120 square foot. Same roof material and exterior materials apply to the storage that is proposed. One of the comments we received is to explore opportunities for lowering down the slope of the carport. So currently it was proposed at 1:12, and we tried to lower it less to half to 12. It did not quite fit the property, given that it got really close to being like a flat roof. And currently there's no flat roof on the property. So it looked a little bit foreign. So quite frankly, we feel like this fits the property really well. Moving forward to the next sheet, that is the exterior elevations of the building, which is the same as before as far design-wise. We just added more constructability information. Next sheet, please. That would be the other two elevations of the property. And then we like to line them up to see the existing and proposed, just so it's clear as far as the scope of work. Next sheet, please. Building sections running through the house, and I believe this is the same as before. We added a door and window schedule along with the proposed door and window types. Next sheet, that would be exterior details, showing various details for the roof, as well as the foundation details and doors and windows. Same sheet for here for also exterior and interior details, showing the wall and floor types. The sheet after, that would be perspective details. We added a little bit more color than before, just to show the concept of the design. We can go through those quickly as well. More exterior renderings showing mainly the maneuvering newly proposed walkway leading to the house. Next sheet is the exterior material board. It's the same as before. We just added the exterior light fixture to it. And the next sheet, that would be structural plans from here through the end. We can probably flip through those quickly. And that wraps up our presentation.
Thank you. No landscape, right?
The landscape scope is pretty minimum, so we were not required to provide landscape plans and
Okay. Thank you.
concept.
Back to the board. Robert,
No questions.
Bill?
Your white paint color, is it LRB under 84? Do you know?
I think it's compliant, yes. We providing the shade of the color at the paint spec here.
Okay, I see it there. I didn't see an LRB.
Yeah.
I didn't see a chimney cap detail. You're here for final. I don't know, is it a chimney that actually has an exhaust out of it? Is it wood burning? And you're gonna need some kind of a cap or shroud on that chimney, do you know?
Right. It's a gas.
Yes, log.
Right.
Okay. And how many oak trees were removed? One, and then you have a replacement then of some sort, or?
For now, it's not proposed. I think per the county's requirement, removing one oak tree is allowed.
Allowed. So planning is okay with one tree being removed without a replacement of any
Right.
sort?
We did not receive any comments.
Okay. Interesting. And then a question on your roof plan. Can you go back to that roof plan real quick? So it looks like in the elevations, your gable end, so am I confused? Is it hip on two sides, or is it a gable? The upper picture there that says proposed, is that you're just showing it filled in? Is that what?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just graphics.
That was confusing to me. Okay, that is all. Thanks.
Thank you. Stacy?
Yeah, what's the material on the pathway and the width?
I believe that is shown on the civil plans on sheet C. Can we go back to the civil plans, please?
Didn't see a call out.
Next sheet. Yes, here there should be tags showing the materials. If we can zoom in, please. There's a note C04, and on the pathway, if you scroll down, please, to the callouts. Yeah. So the C4 is a chip seal driveway. That's for the driveway, and that's probably got missed. We're happy to add the material for the walkway.
And what's the width of that walkway? It seems kind of wide.
It is wide, yes. I believe Moritz, feel free to chime in if you have that information ready for you. My business partner Moritz is with us online.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
We did intentionally made
5
it.
feet.
Yeah, we made it wider than probably what is required, but just
It's only 5 feet?
Yeah, it actually varies a little bit. You can see in the bottom there where it connects to the driveway, it's a little bit wider and then it kind of narrows and brings you in as you approach the front entry,
Okay,
kind of a funnel. So it varies.
okay. And the height of those retaining walls in the front? They just 4 feet?
yeah, around that.
Okay, okay. Um, those, and what are you keeping the original material against the house? Was it brick?
Yes.
So you're keeping that as brick?
It's the house mainly is board and bath, and
Yes.
yeah, we're keeping that.
No, the material against the house, is it brick?
I believe so.
Okay,
No,
and are you,
are you referring to the walls? The retaining
no, I'm
walls there?
referring to the hardscape, the existing hardscape in front of the house that I think is remaining, or is it being replaced? As you go up the pathway to the front entry?
Oh, that's remaining.
Also have a water feature in there now too, that I saw?
That's remaining. yeah.
Right.
Yes. Do you have details on the water feature?
We don't have that yet.
Okay. Is this here for just for preliminary?
I know.
For final? That's what I thought too. Okay, those are my questions.
Okay,
Mhm,
thank you.
mhm.
Are you sure it's 5 feet, the walkway? It seems like it's, when you look at the new garage scale, the new garage is 20 feet deep. That walkway at the cut from the driveway into the front door seemed like at least about 8.
Mhm.
It's just the way I visualize it, but can you check on that?
I am measuring here in the computer and you're correct, it goes up between 5 feet is the lowest and it goes all the way up to the widest portion at the driveway is about 9 feet,
Okay.
where it opens up the funnel and then it tightens down
I
as you
see.
approach the entry.
Okay, all right, so that's all I have, and would you open public comment for item number 2, 802 Oak Grove Drive?
No request to speak. This one.
Okay, so close public comment, back to the board. And this item is here for preliminary and final approval. Robert?
I think it's a nice project. I would agree with Stacy. There's some info missing on the hardscape. The front walk and just some minor details. The fountain, I think it would be nice. The entry is so important, which would include that walk. It certainly is a preliminary approval, but I would kind of leave it to the rest of the board to decide if it needs a few more details regarding hardscape and landscaping. I'd leave that up to Stacy.
Bill?
Yeah, I think the architecture looks good. The carpet looks fine. I don't have any problem with the layout. The width of it does feel a little wide there on the walkway. I'll let the others comment on that. I would like to ask, is Kimberly on? If you take an oak tree away, I don't know if I've ever been allowed, if you have one oak tree removed, don't you have to replace it
Yeah.
no matter what?
Yeah, what was the size of the oak tree on the removal?
It is listed on the site plan as well as the, I'm sorry, on the survey, I believe.
It looks like maybe you're impacting a few more. Are those red circles? Actually, go back, David. Are those red circles there, the oak trees that you have? I think those, if those are where they are, you've got grading happening underneath them, and that's kind of an impact too. So,
That's not impact. There's
I mean, I would, maybe it was just something the planner didn't catch. Is Kimberly there? Oh,
I
Kimberly?
am indeed. I do not know if they received, if there was an arborist report and that the trees were deemed to be damaged or in process of dying, or what the situation is. It is definitely something that the planner would look at and potentially comment on. Typically, if you are taking away a healthy oak tree, you are required to provide some level of replacement trees, and that level depends on a couple of factors. Sometimes the size of the replacement, sometimes the size of the lot, or compatibility, ability to put more oak trees on it. So something we can raise to the planner and she can address further.
Yeah, so I mean, I would, at this point, I certainly give it preliminary, but maybe sussing out the whole oak tree thing would maybe be a good idea, just to figure out what's going on, and I'll let Stacy comment, but I would imagine you'd have to get an arborist report to kind of identify the trees that you're impacting, and then if there's a mitigation for that, where are those trees going to go? And so it opens up a little bit.
And the planner's online if you have.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Hi, this is Kiana, the planner. I did ask for a tree protection plan submitted by the arborist, but that hasn't been submitted yet. So
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would like to add an information here that yes, we have an arborist as part of the team, and he's preparing a tree protection plan that should be submitted before we obtain a land use permit.
Okay, so in that plan, we would suspect that there might be some mitigation, and then so you'd be coming back for final, maybe on consent, to review those placements and that kind of a thing too, so.
But I want to ask a question. Usually in the past, when the project is here for final, we should have a memo from the planner. And we didn't see one from the last one, and for this one also.
So, we had some staff look at when memos are submitted, and I don't recall the details of that, but we end up with memos fewer, but you might be right on that. We can certainly, like you said, the planner's online. If you'd like a memo, we can.
No, because that would, spell out that a certain condition had to be met.
Right.
Before final approval. All right, thank you.
I think she heard you.
Yeah, so my comments, just to reiterate, planning a preliminary approval, I'd be fine to grant, and
Tracy,
final.
feel the same way?
Oh, yeah, and
Let her comment, yeah.
Questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, we are in comments now.
Okay, comments, yes. Okay, I feel like the walkway is way too wide at 9 feet as you go up. And also too, I'm concerned because the materiality of it, not knowing what it is, that it also is going to have further impact on more oak trees because you're coming in really close to one as you swing towards it, especially if it's really wide and hardscaped. I'd like you to revisit that. Also to give a specific material. I would caution that maybe something that's more in keeping with the materials that you've chosen for the building and the period would be nice, that it's cohesive. I do think that there is considerable impact from this project, more than you probably realize, with all of the grading, that a small landscape plan probably should be required for the areas of impact, especially since there's an oak tree removal and possibly more impacts once you have the arborist report. I think I would suggest the planner relook at that as well. But the house and everything, I think, is really nice. I could give it preliminary at this point, but definitely want it to come back for final once we have all the full information.
Yeah, I do agree that It's definitely ready for preliminary approval. Do we want to have final on consent?
Yeah,
Seems minor.
I mean, I think final on consent for this would be fine.
I would just want to add to the notes there, chimney cap detail, if you can
Mhm.
add to us.
So,
And the fountain maybe, if
Yeah, fountain
that's
detail
part of the
should be
project
there
anyway.
too. Yes.
So did you want to condition that approval today?
Yes.
yes, you want to make a motion for,
I'll make a motion to grant preliminary approval for the applicant to return for final approval on consent.
Mhm. I can second that.
And the conditions that they review the oak tree information with their planner, arborist report probably should be submitted, and that further detailing of the fountain and the chimney cap, make sure the LRV, the paint colors under 84, and
the landscape, small.
a small
Just
landscape.
small, only for the areas that you're impacting, not for the whole thing by any means.
Slopes from the grading. I mean,
Yeah,
landscape.
yeah, exactly.
Yep. All right. I'll just second that.
I will second that with the conditions as Bill
Yeah,
stated.
all in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion carried. So now we are on to item number 3, Crane School Classroom Edition, 1795 San Leandro Lane. And this item is here for preliminary final approval. And your name for the record, please.
Turn on your mic.
Thank you. Yes, Elena Frazier with Blackbird Architects.
Ken Radke with Blackbird.
Thank you.
And we also have Sam Maphis, landscape architect for the project, should be on Zoom as well. Okay.
Yeah. So we only have, I think we only had, we had 3 comments from the previous meeting of July 10, 25. And the comment number 1 was a very nice modest project. Number 2, study clear story configuration on north elevation and review the ADA requirements. So you can address those and
Yes.
thank you.
So, yeah. So I'll try and move quickly through our presentation and then of course can return back to anything that you would like to see. Thank you for your time today. Maybe if we could jump, I think it's page 28 of the PDF, should be A 1.0, which is the campus plan. Just to quickly remind everyone where this relatively modest classroom addition is occurring on campus. You can see it there kind of in the southern sort of mid portion, attaching on to the east end of an existing 9,000 square foot classroom library building. One of the key kind of design priorities for the project was maintaining, so Crane, which you may be familiar with or not, is kind of organized around 3 outdoor courtyards. At the north, we've got the oak tree quad, in the middle, olive tree quad, and then the quad to the south where our project is located is the mulberry quad, and you'll see in the existing photos a really lovely mulberry tree there. So our project really prioritized enhancing and preserving that quad, as well as trying to interact with and activate other adjacent outdoor spaces. Their main play fields are kind of to the east and the south. Their key lower school outdoor lunch area is also right to the east, and that's where this new/replaced shade structure is going. And so when we dive into the site plan, kind of remind everyone about ways that we're trying to enhance kind of interaction with these outdoor spaces. Maybe we could switch, please, to PDF page 6, which is the existing campus or site photos. So here, just wanting to remind the board what this existing building looks like. It was sort of a mandate from Crane, the client, that the addition sort of look like it's always been there. So we've really done our best to ensure that the architectural detailing, the finishes, all of the materials selected, et cetera, window and door types, roof heights, all integrate and match very well with the existing architecture that's out there, which is sort of quintessentially Crane in its typology. And I'll just point out also the photo 7 in the lower left, you can see this existing fabric and steel shade structure that's over the lunch area currently. That's being removed and replaced by our newly proposed steel and shade fabric. And then that photo 8, just to the right of that, shows that really wonderful mulberry tree that will remain as part of the project. If we could jump to PDF page 30, please, which is the proposed kind of zoomed in site plan. Apologies, one of the hatches looks like it's reading much darker, but the sort of darker gray footprint represents the 2 classroom sort of new building square footage. And then this unfortunate, really dark hatch that's ringing that is representing the new outdoor covered walkways that extend. So as you saw in those existing photos, again, one of the kind of quintessentially Crane architectural features is that their buildings all have these really long covered roof overhangs that cover walkways and also create outdoor kind of usable space adjacent to the building. So that vocabulary is being continued fully around the building addition and then even wrapping onto the south. You can see the steel shade structure there to the right. The other thing to point out here, and this kind of gets at one of the comments from the board last time, so the existing building floor elevation is raised due to a floodplain that runs, you can see it just kind of clipping the library footprint up there in the upper left corner. The new addition is maintaining that same existing floor elevation, but adjacent quad, lunch patio, and play fields are a couple feet below that. So a lot of the planters, the stairs are all sort of working to kind of mitigate both visually and physically that sense of difference in those floor elevations. One of the key changes that we did make in this site plan design based on the board's comments last time does relate to sort of accessible connections. So the existing lunch patio level is actually a couple feet lower than what we're proposing. And the lifting of that level does a few good things for the project. One, it means just fewer stairs at each of the sets of staircases that we have. And second, it also means that the existing kind of rolling accessible connection that happens from the east along the north is able to kind of connect in to the covered walkway much further to the east than it is currently. So kind of just improving accessible connections around the building and connecting into accessible routes on campus. Let's see if we could jump please to the page 33, which is the proposed floor plan. Just point out a couple things here. Again, a little hard to see with some of these hatches, but just wanting to point out, the number of exterior doors that, again, there's a strong desire to connect to these covered walkways and out to the lunch and other green spaces on campus. The kind of thickened wall and recessed door conditions that you're seeing are all sort of in keeping with how the existing building and openings are detailed and work. And then you also see there's proposed drinking fountain and hand washing station on the east end of the building that are an important amenity for the lunch table. The patio that's sort of nestled between the buildings there on the left is an existing wood trellis structure. That's to remain. We will be kind of refreshing the wood finishes and then also recovering that with a new roof finish that will match the building roof finishes. Could jump to page 36, which is the roof plan. Just to point out here again, ridge lines, roof slopes, and roof overhangs all sort of matching the existing building as it docks in. If we could jump to page 40, please. That's the building elevations. So existing building is elevated and without sort of color to make it clear where the addition scope is. I think if you focus in on that north elevation, you can really see how window types that are proposed, door types that are proposed, and then finishes and colors, all in keeping with the existing architecture. And then maybe lastly, before I'll let Sam speak quickly to our planting plan, but we could jump quickly to page 86, which is the exterior lighting fixtures. And I believe we looked at these with you last time. There might be one or two small changes. So the lantern fixtures, this is a fixture, this exact fixture exists sort of all over campus. They hang beneath these covered, the roof overhangs that cover the walkways. So we'll be adding more of those. We've got recessed lighting adjacent to the new stairs. That third SF3 muse spot is proposed. It's a downlight that will be installed at the lunch shade structure so that that space can be better used in the evening. And then at that existing kind of trellis, there's been a request for better lighting. And so this barn light, potentially in the blue color, is being proposed there to make that more usable in the evenings. And then lastly, yeah, if we could jump please to page 24, which is the planting plan, and I'll let Sam, if he's available, maybe just say a couple words about that.
Yeah, thanks, Elena. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? I think I'm audioed.
Yes.
Okay.
You're good.
Thank you. So, yeah, what we did was we have these raised planters along the upper covered walkway. We planted those for south exposure with some colorful and soft plantings like yellow phormium, also Lomandra breeze and Teucrium. Then going around to the shade size, we planted some heuchera and some Dianella and Andina Gulfstream for the shade of the north side. We did incorporate some very nice new magnolia trees adjacent to the south for some softening of that elevation from the direct south heat. And those trees will be going in, all four of those, in 48-inch size boxes. So they'll get an instant shade cast on the little, I guess, the long benches that the kids will be sitting on as they go on and off the field. So there's soccer fields and play fields to the east and also to the south. So we wanted to make sure that the flow of circulation was very easy and nice through those trees onto the grass play fields. So again, as Elena said, this is a very simple addition to the fabric of the landscape in and around this beautiful campus at Crane. So other than that, we've got a full set of plans with all the WELO, certainly in the irrigation, tying into the existing systems. And I think it's a well thought out and complete version of this addition to the Crane campus. I think that's it, unless you have questions.
Thanks, Sam. I realize if we could quickly just jump back to the building elevations on page 40. I did forget to address one of the comments from last time related to studying the clear story window configuration. So you can see on the western end of the building, there's 4 existing clear story windows that bring light into the interior of those art studio classrooms, which actually have high, kind of really lofty ceilings. At our edition, the board's question was about an interest or in exploring the continuing that rhythm of clear story windows, and which we've decided against for a variety of reasons. One, at the classrooms, there's actually a dropped vaulted ceiling, and we're using that upper roof space for new mechanical equipment. So there isn't the high ceiling kind of condition that exists in those art rooms where the clear stories make sense. So adding the clear story windows would be adding windows into that mechanical space. Also structurally, just where existing building and new framing sort of begin and end would make it difficult to match that exact same rhythm. So after studying it, we felt like it was better to not add any additional clear story windows on that north elevation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I guess I have the same question previously. Is there a memo from the planner for final approval?
No memo on this one.
No memo, okay. And since this item is here for final, do you have any architectural details?
Yes, we have several sheets of full kind of construction detailing. Those all begin on, let's see, PDF page. Let me just find that for you. Detailing begins on page 47 of the PDF set. So we have foundation details, walls, roof, and interior detailing as well, doors and windows.
All right, great. You have a lot of details for the other two projects.
You only could have shared.
Thank you. Back to the board for questions. Bill?
The only question I have really is more of a question about high fire, and when you go to match, like maybe you have a 6x6 post or an 8x8 post, are you going to do treated lumber? Are you going to, or get some waiver or something? That was mostly the question. I'm sure you've already exercised that information with the.
Yeah, it's a great question and a good challenge for our community. So the building code does have an exception for meeting all the requirements of, well, formerly Chapter 7A, now the WE code, for additions to existing buildings that were built before a certain year. If I say the year, I'm going to say the wrong year, but our original building was built prior to that threshold. So we are not required to meet all of those standards like we would if we were building new, or if it was a newer building that we were adding on to. So that being said, there's a lot of things about our detailing, covers at the gutters, things that some of the existing building doesn't necessarily have, but that we're including for our resistance.
Able to match, in other words.
Yes.
And then last question is the canvas material. Do you have to have a limited flame spread on that or something like that?
Yes, the shade fabric material needs to be a fire rated material that meets certain fire testing standards. So, and currently the fabric proposed is a Gale Pacific commercial FR, standing for fire rated fabric.
Great. All right. That's it. Thanks.
No questions.
Robert?
I don't know, maybe I missed it. The covered porches outside. Notice your detail on the steps just showed 90-degree like concrete. Is there a finished material on those patios and those steps? And on the steps, wouldn't you want, or is it not even required to have like a nosing or something?
Yeah, so all of the existing concrete hardscape at Crane is an integral color concrete with a salt finish. And we could maybe pull up the material palette, which I think is a separate PDF if you want. There's a photo of that. So all new concrete hardscape. You can see it there in the lower left, including concrete stairs, would receive that finish. And then I do believe that our stair detail is indicating the contrasting nosing stripe that's required by code. You could pull up that sheet to double check that. And I think there we'd be proposing both grooves and then also a concrete stain to provide the contrasting color. So that stair detail should be on. I don't think so. Probably 47, I believe, page 47 would be the stair detail. Yeah, so that lower left there looks like detail 9. If you zoom in, there's the indication of the nosing. Contrasting stripe.
I thought a nosing was required by code these days, but
Okay, we'll certainly double check that. I get what you're saying. Instead of the full vertical face with no projecting nosing or an angle, whether what we're showing is permissible. We'll double check that. Thank you. Yeah.
thank you.
Thank you. Dave, can you go back to the exterior elevations sheet?
Sure. Do you know what page that's on?
Exterior elevations was
Yes.
page 40, and then there's sort of zoomed in elevations, I believe, on the following 2 sheets.
Thank you so much.
Okay, if you can zoom into the bottom elevation. Okay, so I guess my question is the scope of work you're adding classroom, is it for both floors?
Just a single story.
To the lower floor?
Correct.
But you're also extending the roof on the second floor?
So it's not a second floor, it's just sort of a pop-up clear story roof.
So the 2-story roof at the end. And so beyond that, the existing, you have classroom on the second floor?
There's
windows?
The building is entirely a single-story building, so there's no second floor anywhere.
I see. So right now you have 3 windows on the second floor, right? 3, I can see on the elevation.
They're so yes, on the bottom, on the south elevation,
top.
there's 3 clear story windows. Yes.
And back to the same questions. So you don't see a need to continue the rhythm? I'm just wondering, on the inside, you look up, you see a beautiful 2-story volume, then you see 3 windows on both sides.
Right.
And the addition completely pitch black.
So in the addition, and maybe we could jump to a section sheet, and that might help clarify. In the classroom addition footprint, there actually isn't, that full volume is not expressed on the inside. There's a dropped ceiling that's vaulted, and in between the upper roof on the exterior and this drop ceiling on the interior, there's a mechanical attic space.
So so the second floor roof is only for aesthetic?
It's to continue the existing building roof forms, and then also to provide the needed sort of mechanical attic space to that.
So are you putting mechanical in that? Because it seems like a lot of volume you're doing it just doing it. It's a question.
Yeah, no, it's an excellent question, and we did actually study a variety of extension differences. So we did look at it without fully extending that upper roof. We looked at holding that upper roof kind of further west, so not bringing it out as far as we did. And ultimately, we felt like architecturally, even though you weren't going to necessarily experience all of that volume on the inside, it was providing the attic space that we did need. and architecturally, it worked the best in our opinion.
Yeah, so which my question would be, if you are, simply if you are electing to do that direction,
Mhm.
do you feel that adding more windows would continue the visual that you're having, expanding the classroom and the space?
I think the challenge with adding the additional windows was that it would be very difficult, if not impossible, to match the rhythm. And it felt like, again, when we tried out adding windows up there, which ultimately wouldn't be experienced from below, but we understand the desire to match the existing, that having them there but not in the same rhythm just drew attention to them more than not adding them.
Thank you.
And, you know,
Okay, so we are open public comment for item number 3, 1795 San Leandro Lane.
No request to speak on this one.
Thank you. Close public comment. Back to the board. Bill, which item is for preliminary final? Details
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah, I think you did a great job. I think it blends in with the Crane Country Day School. And I agree with the roof. If you tried to shorten it to the west, it would be an awkward roof over the porch there. So it would make it very tall and awkward. So I'm okay with that. Yeah, I think you've done everything, and I think you've got the details. Everything looks good to me. I could certainly make a motion to grant preliminary and final.
Stacy, anything further to add?
No, I think you did an excellent job. It's very thorough. Everything's quite complete. I could approve it as is.
Robert?
Yes, preliminary and final.
Yeah, I think the nice project, I'm still debating about the windows. I'm not sure if it better is for you just to add them so it's visually it flows better to a certain point. Maybe to stop them before you hit the hip on the first floor. That seemed like it could fit in two windows on both sides. Take a look at that. It's not a deal breaker, but I thought might be better looking for your project.
okay, thank you. I appreciate the
Yeah, and other than that, so we have a motion for approval.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to grant preliminary and final approval for 1795 San Leandro Lane as submitted.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Aye. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
And,
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting of January 22nd, 2026.
second that.